Welcome back, everybody. We are going to play and review this 3/4 size Yamaha APXT2 guitar that I recently picked up.
The devil said, "Son, are you ready to go?" Well, I was born on a green light, Daddy-o.
So for the last 2 months, I've been going to Sam Ash and sitting in their acoustic guitar department and playing every single half size and 3/4 size guitar I could get my hands on, so that I would have a small travel size guitar for this summer's camping season. I was really looking for something that was small enough that I could pack on the back of my Harley, that also would pack a little bit better inside my pickup truck. Unlike, the Dreadnought over here, which it's just huge. It eats up a lot of space. When you got 3 people, all of our gear, and a dog in the back of the truck, it gets pretty tight pretty fast. So, as I said, at least once a week for the last 2 months, I went and played little tiny guitars. And this one, every single week, I would go back to this one because it was the best sounding of all of the 3/4 scale or smaller guitars that they had in stock. And it got to the point where I started hiding the guitar inside their acoustic room, so that no one would buy it, because I wasn't quite ready to pull the trigger yet. I needed to save up a couple $100 to buy it. Most of the 3/4 scale guitars are all about $200, so they were relatively the same in price, and some of them were a little more stylish. Some of them had higher quality name brands to them than Yamaha. I mean, Yamaha's been making instruments forever, and they do a fine job, but everybody knows they're made in China, and they're not a Taylor or a Martin or anything like that, but they're very inexpensive, and generally they play fairly well for a extremely mass-produced factory made guitar. So as I said, I played all of everything from the extremely high-end ones down to the Yamahas like this, and this one just sounded the best. Well, I'm sure you've seen those backpacking guitars that they have a long rectangle body, and I played like 3 of those, and they sounded like shit. I mean, just had absolutely no tone whatsoever, no volume. And of course, in a 3/4 scale guitar like this, yeah, you're going to sacrifice a lot of tone and a lot of volume because it's tiny. But this one seemed to sacrifice the least in tonal quality of every single 3/4 size guitar there at Sam Ash, and they had several. There was probably 12 3/4 size guitars to choose from. Playability, it feels pretty nice. The neck is a little tight, which it's going to be. It's a smaller guitar. The back is actually a little fatter than I would like for the width of the fretboard, but it's nothing that you can't, that it's nothing that's gonna really bother me in the long run. But it just, of all the guitars there, it's the one that sounded the best. So far, I've had it for about a week, and I've been beating the shit out of it pretty regularly. It's got the original strings from the factory, and who knows what those are. I'm gonna go to Sam Ash probably next week and buy a set of Martin light gauge. I run Martin medium gauge on the Dreadnought, and I have for about 30 years, and they've just always sounded really good. I like the twang they have to them. And these are definitely not Martin strings. And of course, who knows how long this guitar sat there and how many people have played it. So they're a little dead, you can feel it. But they still stay in tune pretty good. Some of the features that this guitar has, it actually has a built-in chromatic tuner and a volume and tone control, because it has a pickup inside of it. And for this test, I'm not going to plug it in, because really, I plugged it in the first day I got it. But I probably never will again. With most onboard pickups, your amp starts feedbacking really, really bad unless your amp is completely set up for an acoustic guitar. And my amp is definitely not, and I'm not going to dial it in for a guitar that I am really not going to play electrically. This is going to be played at campfires, and that's pretty much it. When we travel around, either camping in the truck with the family on dirt bike adventures, or camping off of my Harley. But that's what this guitar is for. It's not, this isn't something I'm not going to like try to record with it other than this video. I'm not, I'm not gonna plug it in anywhere. But the chromatic tuner, it actually works pretty good, actually. Probably won't be able to see it, but it actually tunes the guitar really well, and it's really handy. I mean, if you're sitting around the campfire, it's nice to at least be kind of in tune, no matter how drunk you are. So having a tuner is nice to have. Chromatic tuner test. Still works. But that's really, I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it. It sounds pretty good. You're going to get to see a tone test. I recorded some stuff earlier, just a couple of riffs, a couple of cover riffs, and a couple of my own riffs, just so you could see how it sounds. Once again, just off of a SM57 into a small mixing board into the camera, so there's no coloring the tone whatsoever. I didn't fatten it up at all, so you can actually get an idea of how this guitar actually sounds. And honestly, for a tiny little guitar like this, it sounds pretty damn good. So if you're looking for a small travel size guitar, I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend it. I would. So that's all for me. I hope everybody has a fantastic week.